This is the new project, and the new project is I'm buying insurance write-off vehicles and I am fixing them up and repairing them and selling them on, and I'm going to make a profit, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what everything costs, how long it takes me, whether I make a profit or not, and all the rest of it. So I'm going to bring you along for the journey. Stay tuned, watch the video. This is going to be part one. Let's have a quick look round my first purchase. Someday I know I'll finally make it through the gates. Just have to wait. You whisper to me there's no maybe. There's only time for dreams even greater. I hear the call, and I close my eyes to see even clearer. I see it all. I know that we can go higher if we keep our faith. Well, all looks good from the pictures. That's the first mistake I made. Should have gone and viewed it, but we'll see why later on, so stay tuned guys. So we're going to look at the bidding process here. I must admit this is the first time I've ever bid on a car in an auction, which I think for a mechanic must be quite rare. But we're going to go in £17.50, that's my top bid. Tried £17.60, obviously increments of only £10 weren't accepted, so £17.50 we're on. We're going to wait and see what happens. Now, I know there are going to be auction fees on top of this and admin fees. The admin fees were 75 quid, fine, no problem with that at all. The auction fees, on the other hand, this is the second lesson I learned. I seriously underestimated the actual auction fees. The total auction fees on this, I think, were about £400 or £500, so it's very, very high. However, we've won the vehicle. I'm going to play the cards I've been dealt with, and before you know it, the vehicle's been delivered and I get home to find it sitting on my drive. First look round, not too bad, not great, but not too bad. So obviously the damage we knew about. There's another bit of damage we just walked straight past, which I didn't notice straight away. I'm surprised, to be fair, because it's quite a nasty dent, which you guys probably would have already seen in the rear quarter there. Then we're just going to get round to the action end of the vehicle, and yeah, you can see where the damage was there. Now this was a category N, so that is non-structural, so it should be pretty much bolt-on pieces, and yeah, as we can see there, sort of bumper, wing, and we're also looking at a slam panel. Now the inside of this car, all I can say is the family had this before must have loved the sausage rolls, and if you spotted the pound coin, well done, I spotted it straight away. Now this is the very nasty dent that I was on about. I didn't see this in the pictures, couldn't notice it. I'm pretty sure that wasn't done on delivery. I'm pretty sure that was already there. Looking at it, it's quite an old dent, but we have got issues already. As you can see guys, we've got the laptop plugged in, and my god, look at that dirt, even more dirt. It is just horrendous. My poor son is going to have a nightmare cleaning this, because that's how he's going to make some money. He's going to be valeting the car as well. So as I said as well guys, you can see I've already got the diag plugged in there. Yes, we have got issues with this car already, and it has probably going to bite me in the bottom quite badly. Still can't get over how dirty that is. So as you notice there, we have got the engine warning light on, and we have also got a bit of an engine vibration there. Not sure what's going on with this at the minute. I've checked the fault codes. We're looking like that might be a fuel issue again, kind of not realising what was going on. I jumped at the first fault code I saw, which was P0313 if I remember rightly, which is actually low fuel. I've misread it, not paid attention properly, hold my hands up, and actually read it as low fuel pressure issue, and a misfire on cylinder 3 I think was the other fault code I had. So we jumped straight into getting that diagnosed, but I'm still not 100% at the stage of doing this that was a fuel related vibration. So let's drag up the fault codes so everyone can see what we're dealing with, and if you look there you will see somewhere there is a misfire on cylinder 3, and there's also the low fuel fault on there as well that I mentioned previously. So this is a handy little bit of kit we've got going on here. It's just a launch code reader, and this is the launch report, so you can email it to yourself. This is actually off the email and obviously recorded off my screen on my phone, as you guys can see here. So yeah, really good little feature that, and yeah, quite like that. Just a nice simple code reader, nothing special with this model.
We've got tons and tons and tons of fault codes in there, all pretty much like low voltage related. So we're going to get all them cleared down and just see what comes back on. But there's the 0313 that I was on about, misfire detected with low fuel. So that is a sign that someone has actually played roulette with the petrol station and probably lost. But we're going to go down the garden path a little bit, and I'm just checking the fuel rail pressure here, and it's sitting around about 300 bar on idle, so I think that's pretty good there. I'm quite happy with that. So the next step is, of course, get some lifeblood back in it. So we're going to top this up with diesel. And yes, guys, that is a petrol can. I am fully aware of that. However, that is all I had to hand. So we're going to get some diesel in there, already in, obviously, and we're going to get that tipped straight into the tank. So next step, I'm going to change the fuel filter anyway. We're on a service with this one, so it is going to get replaced regardless, and if it does cure our fault in the process, then everyone's a winner. So that would save me an absolute fortune. And our lovely motor factor wasn't entirely sure which filter was on it. It said there's a choice of 2, so they've kindly given me 2, and I can pay for whichever one I use when I hand the other one back. So that's very, very kind of them. So fuel filter's located in there. Gonna pop the engine cover off, and look, more damage yet again. I must stop looking, I keep spotting things here. So we're gonna get that popped off, see if I can bond that back on. I've got some plastic repair, so see if we can do a good job on that. I'm going to take that metal cover off the top there, just loads of Torx bits here, guys, nice and easy, nothing strenuous. So as you can see, the fuel filter's out. That's probably not been changed in some time, but what I am looking for is just any evidence that the fuel pump may well be breaking up, and I cannot see any glitter or metallic flecks in there at all. Always check the bottom of the filter housing as well, and I can't see nothing in there either. So yeah, that's a good sign. I'm happy with that. Pretty certain that our fuel pump is going to be okay, and that is not going to be an issue. So we're going to get the new filter in there, get everything else buttoned back up, and we're going to continue on looking to see what's cured the fault, because now I've started the engine up, it's still got that same vibration. So that's not cured the fault, but that had to be done anyway, so it's just another job ticked off the list. And it does sound a little bit maybe more mechanical. When it's sitting there on idle, that's quite happy. Once that's up over 1000 RPM, that's happy. It's just sitting on just around about 1000 RPM. It's got a horrible vibration. But as we can see there on the clear pipes, yeah, there's a little bit of air in there. You are always going to get that. That is perfectly normal. If there was loads and loads of air rushing through there, then I would have concerns that it is pulling in air into the system, which would definitely cause a rough running and a bit of a lumpy idle. Now, I said I want to be completely honest with everyone on this video of how much it costs, how much money I make or lose, as well may be the case with this one, so make sure you follow to find out. But we're going to keep on going down the garden path here, guys, and yeah, I'll hold my hands up. I'm recording this in hindsight. At the moment, I'm over halfway through the build, so I already know what's happened. But the next stage at this point of filming was, in my mind, I need to do a leak off test, just check the injectors. So not a bad thing really to do as well. It gives me an extra little bit of peace of mind when I come to sell the vehicle as well, because you know, I want to do the job right, and I want to give whoever buys this car a good reliable car. I don't want any comebacks, and I certainly don't want anyone wanting to knock me down on the price. This is potentially already gonna bite me in the bum and cost me more than I wanted anyway. So we're gonna jump straight over and get on with this leak off test. And I must say, guys, lovely little kit here off Amazon. Not a lot of money at all. I think it's about 15 or 20 pounds, so I'm happy with that. So I've got my finger over the return pipe there just to stop any air getting back into the system. And funnily enough, good little kit, although it didn't quite have the fittings that I needed to come on to the injectors. So nothing a cable tie there won't sort out, and we've got that running away. Cold engine, 5 minutes on idle. I'm not sure what the manufacturing measurements for these engines are. However, I have worked on a 2 litre HDI before, the Peugeot engine, and I was told 37mm and above is not acceptable. These were all roughly around 40 to 45 millilitres, so I'm pretty happy that they're fine, and I've got no actual low fuel pressure faults. But what I did notice when I was at the end of the engine there is all this clutch dust on the top of the box, and that did lead me to actually come to my senses and realise that we need to change the flywheel and clutch. And as if by magic, there we go, a nice brand new Sachs clutch flywheel kit. There we go, we can see the flywheel there, and you can see not hardly any play in there at all. That's fine, it's supposed to move a little bit, it's what they are designed to do. One friction plate and one pressure plate, all good, no damage, everything's good. So, and we've got a concentric slave cylinder there as well, so we get that in. Oh yeah, and not to forget, comes with new bolts as well, so everybody's happy. So let's get cracking with this one, guys. Just not looking forward to doing this on my back, on the flat, on the driveway, outside my house, knowing full well that I need to get the subframe off to get the gearbox out. I could have slackened it off and then just dropped the near side. That would have given me enough room to get it out, but then you're fighting to get it like either up and over or down and under and around the subframe. So drop that off. So as you can see, guys, we've got the bottom arms off, got the drive shafts off. Yes, I've took the calipers off out of the way just so we don't put any stress or strain on the brake hoses or anything else. And I haven't filmed the whole process here because I just want to get on, get cracking, get the gearbox out, get it done. I wanted this done in less than a day, which on your back I think is a bit of an achievement. So there we go, guys. As we can see, the gearbox is out. So now we can actually go and have a look at the flywheel clutch and actually see whether I was right. And we can indeed see once we get under there. Excuse the slow-mo on here, guys. I've had issues with the action cam. As you can see, there is a hell of a lot of rattle in there. And as you can hear, clunking and banging like nobody's business. So definitely made the right call there. Let's get this one out, get it changed, and see if that has cured our vibration. So this was a very unforeseen repair, one that I hadn't planned on, and certainly one that I didn't want to do. But what we're going to do now, guys, is get that box chucked back in there, and I mean get it chucked back in there literally, and get everything bolted up. But before we do that, we're going to have a look at the new flywheel and just show you guys exactly how much play is acceptable. Now, as you can see, there is no backwards and forwards or thrust play there, as we would call it. You will get a slight bit of play as you try to turn it, but that is what they are supposed to do. Let's have a quick cheeky look at the special Amazon tool I bought. I think this was about £15 off Amazon. Clutch tool, universal kit. While we're here as well, we're just going to have a look. Vehicle came with no documents, so we do need to fill out a V62 form, guys, get that sent off, and that is going to cost 25 quid to do as well, plus postal order, so probably looking at nearer 30. We're going to get that one sent off. Want to sell the car with a logbook, don't we? So it's got to be done. Not too bad a form to fill out, quite easy and simple. Then, as you can see, I haven't shown you putting the gearbox back in and all the other bits and pieces, but we are now at the point where we are bleeding the clutch up. Now, I tried bleeding it from the reservoir end first, to no avail. I had a small amount of fluid come through and then it completely stopped. So now I'll try back bleeding it, and I've still got no fluid coming out through the reservoir. The pedal, when I back bleed it, I can get a little bit, just enough to get a clutch, but not enough to be good. As you can see, the pedal's still staying like 3/4 of the way down. So unfortunately, we are now at the next issue where it is going to need a master cylinder. And yes, you guessed it, that means more money, unfortunately. The profit pot is slowly dwindling. The master cylinder is right down back there, so we are going to get the scuttle off, remove the wiper arms so I can get down there without cutting all my arms up in the process. And then we're going to see if we can get that bled up. Borg and Beck, guys. So hopefully this is going to be okay. We're going to get this master cylinder bolted on. We're going to get it bled up. That will give us a good clutch again, and everything is good. I can get on with the actual accident damage that I was intending to do in the first place. So we can have a good look here at the new master cylinder. As you can see, the pedal is stuck to the floor. That is quite a prominent sign that the master cylinder has failed. So we need to remove all this trim to get to it. There is a couple of pipes on the bulkhead side, engine side, that need to be removed as well. As you can see there, all of that part, I would say 50% of the travel there is free travel, and the piston inside the master cylinder isn't actually moving at all, which it should be all the way to the end. So as we said, guys, we're going to get this trim removed. So 3 Torx bits in here, 1, 2 and 3 down the side. We remove this little bit of side panel here as well. Also, guys, please be aware that these do have an airbag in it. I nearly missed it and wondered why I couldn't get the trim off, and then went, oh, hang on, it's got an airbag. So guys, do not touch airbags if you do not know what you are doing. Please follow the manufacturer's instructions. So we need to get these 2 bits of trim off down here to get this triangular piece off, so then I can get the airbag out. There is 1 bolt hidden underneath there, Torx head, and we can pull that piece out. Now once we've got this piece out, we can finish getting off the airbag. Obviously guys, you need to disconnect the battery and whatever else you have to do to safely remove the airbag. Stripped the old master cylinder out, and as you can see there guys, that the actual piston inside is solid and the rod has sheared off, so that is effectively unserviceable. I do believe you can get kits to reseal these, but that's just not worth wasting your time with, if I'm honest. So yeah, we dropped the clutch pedal down so we can get the actual master cylinder out from behind it. There's 3 13mm nuts that hold that in. 2 can be a bit of a pain to get to. The bottom one's okay, but 1 you can get through here with a long 3/8 bar, extension bar, and the other one you have to get your 13mm socket and wobble end, and I must say them Halford wobble ends really good. So it's just going to have a look at the new master cylinder now, and as we can see, that's travelling nicely in there and it's not fell apart. So I'm pretty confident that once we get this one on, it should bleed up without any problems. So that has cost me several hours and has cost me more money that I wasn't planning on. As you can see guys, this is following a bit of a trend, and oh my god, talk about hidden secrets. Let's get these out of there. They can go straight in the bin. We don't want none of that in there. I know what's happened. Someone's overfilled their cubby hole, and when they've shut it, they've fell down the back. So another place I am going to check as well, and if I can remember and get it recorded, is down the back of the glove box. I found some good stuff down the back of glove boxes before. So we've got the new master cylinder on. She's bled up a treat, absolutely working perfectly, beautiful. Now I'm happy, finally on to doing the actual accident damage. So while we're here, I'm just going to blow all the water out that sits down and around the injectors, because I have had the scuttle off overnight, and of course that has absolutely peed down the drain and filled every mortal hole up with lots and lots of water. So I am using a Karcher vac, which also has a blower on it quite handily enough. So while we're here, I'm going to get this wing stripped off. A little bit of a pain in the back side actually to get off. The top 2 bolts sit behind the quarter light panel, so that's always helpful. There's 1 in there, 1 up there, which you can actually get from the inside with the door open, and then the other one I slackened off just enough to slide the panel out. They are slotted holes, so you don't have to remove the bolts all the way out. You can get in there and do it. It's not right. Obviously the best way would be to remove the quarter light, but I'm not going to create any more work than I need to. And yes, I do realise I pulled that silver trim off when I don't need to, but of course that's going to have to be bonded and sealed back on as well. So underneath, very minimal damage, nothing structural, nothing overly bent or where we would need considerable repairs. And would you actually believe it? How on the ball are they? I've had a tax or sawn reminder come through already, and I've literally only just registered the vehicle in my name. That is unreal. They are on the ball. So the next step in the next part of the video, guys, is going to be get all this front end stripped off, get all the accident damage repaired, slam panel, bumper, new headlight in, all the other little bits and pieces. So please guys, if you've watched this far into the video, I really appreciate your support here. Please subscribe, please like, please follow, please share, and yeah, please stay tuned for the second part of this video, when we will have a look at all the other bits and pieces that I've got to get fixed and all the other problems I've encountered. And if you can guess what is in this package before part 2 drops, there may even be a little special prize involved, so please drop us a follow.